Hello, if you are an English learner and you would like to improve your pronunciation, reduce your foreign accent, and sound more like a native speaker in North America, because maybe you're living in the United States or Canada. Hi, my name is Jessie. I am an accent coach, and I help English learners improve their accent and pronunciation. There are some people I work with that just want to feel more confident and, I guess, fluent in English and do not necessarily want to sound like a native speaker. And there are some clients of mine that do want to sound more and more like a native speaker. So I help different kinds of people. So some of you might be those who want to improve your pronunciation and fluidity, but still keep a little bit of your accent. And some people want to try to reduce it. So if you're here live, feel free to say hello. Feel free to share where you are tuning in from. And what it's going to look like today, it's going to be a really short live, but I'm going to do a question and answer period. So if I see any questions come up right away, I'll answer them. Then I'm going to talk about a topic, answer a frequently asked question. Then, yeah, it's going to be short live. So you guys may have noticed some things are new. I have a new mic stand. And what else is new? I am accepting clients, one on one clients, accent reduction, as well as conversation clients, so feel free to check out the description. Also, if you have a question that you would like me to answer on a future live and you may or may not be here, look in the description of the YouTube video. Unfortunately, it's not on Facebook. On the YouTube video, in the description, there'll be submit a question for a future live, and you can type out your question and I will hopefully answer it in an upcoming live. So I'm going to check out some of the comments, see if there's anything that I see right off the bat right away. I don't. And that's okay because I have a question that I'm going to answer right away. And this one is, how do I learn the rhythm of English so I sound natural? So, some problems that a lot of English learners have is they might feel robotic when they talk or very choppy, or their words will be separate. So, they want to have more of Um, just like more of a natural rhythm that a native speaker would have. So, how can you learn this rhythm and how can you improve this rhythm? This is something that takes time. I am I'm an English speaker, but I'm a language learner as well. So I know this is difficult and it does take time. But one would be to learn how connected speech works. I have a connected speech secrets course coming up. So that could be a way that you learn about it. You can also check out other videos, but just learning how native speakers connect their words to one another. Sometimes sounds will just glide together, sometimes sounds will be added, taken away, transformed. So that's something that will help you with your pronunciation, with your rhythm. That would be number 1. Step at number 1. I guess tip number 1. Number 2, I read this, and if you have tried this, let me know. I personally don't understand how this is helpful, but I hear a lot of people saying clap with, like, the beat, clap and tap to the beat when you speak English. For me, it just feels so abstract. Let me know, though, if that helps you. But instead of that tip, if it doesn't work for you, it would be to my next step would be to overemphasize the stress and the intonation and the rhythm. So really exaggerate, and we can do that in an upcoming I can do a little exercise with you right away. But really overemphasize emphasize over overemphasize and exaggerate when you are practicing English. And this feels really weird, but it will help you to kind of feel what the English rhythm and stress feels like, like sounds like, feels like, so that you can exaggerate it at first and then it starts to come naturally and you can just, do it. Speak it normally. um, the next tip would be to shadow after a native speaker. I mention this all the time because it's so important. And it's something I'm actually going to start doing more in my second language because I want to sound more like a native speaker in my second language, which is French. And that is to listen to native speakers and to mimic and shadow them. So to say things exactly like they say it. It's almost like when you are with a child and they repeat things after you exactly like you say it. Do that. Listen to the native speaker. You can pause their videos if you're listening to a video, or you can just kind of repeat like they say it. And that will help you to really get a feel for the rhythm of English. Another thing while you're shadowing, when you're listening to native speakers and you are um, repeating after them, have a goal. So, for example, if you are working on a certain sound, I mean, if it has to do with rhythm, it's probably not just a sound, but it might be like um, stress, for example. You're going to listen to where the stress is in the sentence in different words, where the intonation changes, right? So you really want to focus on one thing that will help you to see things that you normally would not have seen if you weren't looking for it. And then something as well. I don't know if I told anybody here. This might be the first time I say this publicly, but I have a secret YouTube channel where I record myself in my second, third, and I think even in my fourth language. And then I want to track the progress of how my second, third, and fourth, but mostly my second language improves after I do different shadowing challenges. So the other one, the last tip, which I've never done, but I tell everyone they should do, and I think it's really important, so I'm going to do it, is to compare and record. So you would have your I don't know, your phone. You're listening to the native speaker, maybe you're listening to your computer. Then after that, you're going to repeat after the native speaker. You might feel like you did it really well, maybe not. But then when you listen back, you will hear, hopefully, the difference. There may be some things that you might not be able to hear and compare, but as your ear develops more and more to American English, you'll be able to hear, "Oh, wow, I sound like this, and I wanna sound like this. This is what I should change." It's really by it's really by comparing that you'll be able to see what's different and what needs to change in order to sound more similar to an American. So, I'm going to see if I have any questions on TikTok really quick. Yeah, I will. So I'm gonna end that question there by saying those are my tips. And I will do a quick little exercise with you guys right after I answer a few questions, so you can see what I mean by exaggerating. And feel free to ask any questions if you are on YouTube. So Kai said, "How are you?" "I'm good, how are you?" Um, mm, mm, mm. All right, so how can I improve my vocabulary and retrain the words I learn? Um, so oops. So I'm not really, hmm, I'm not an English teacher. People think I'm an English teacher. Um, I would say I'm an English coach. I'm an accent coach, but I'm not really a fan of studying vocabulary. It was never something I enjoyed as as a language learner. Um, English is my first language, but I've learned other languages, and I don't find it to be super effective like studying. So I would say just expose yourself to English. And as you see words come up more and more, you'll start to learn them, like, in context, they'll make sense. If there's words that you want to understand more, you can look them up. But I'm not a huge fan of studying vocabulary and memorizing. Um, and you said retain words, like to remember them. Um, when I Okay, so I don't believe in studying useless words or words that you will never use, but I can think of an example of when I was at work and there was this one word that I wanted to remember because I always forgot. Um, it was how to say stapler in French because I wanted to ask someone because I needed a stapler, or was it a hole puncher? It was something like that. And I know this one rule. So if there's one word that you really, really need to like remember for work or whatever, just review it every day for like a week. And then I think it's like at the 2-week mark, or is it 3-week mark, you would review it again. So there's like this retention curve. One second. Mm. Okay. So I got a little bit of water on my forehead. I'm gonna draw this because I want you guys to see this. Because I find it really fascinating because you can work really hard in memorizing or remembering things when there's actually usually an easy way to do it. So I'm sorry if you guys can hear birds. Okay. Let's say this here means you remember the word. This is time, maybe day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever. Okay. I'm just gonna put little ticks to show where the days are. Let's say you learn a word like this day and you remember it, and then it kind of like falls down right away. But if you just before you forget it, you review it again. So day 2, whoop, you remember. And then eventually it will just kind of like as you review it over and over, it'll just start like you'll start forgetting it slower. And let's say you retain it at this point. Eventually you'll just start to review it, whoop, like 2 weeks in or whatever. So basically, if you are trying to learn a word, my I don't remember the science, but what I do remember is that I did it like every day for like a week or so. And then at about 2 weeks, I think it was 2 weeks, I would review it again. So it's a way of being really effective in remembering words, but not studying 'cause I don't believe in studying. I just believe in being effective. I hope that helps. What's the name of your YouTube channel? My YouTube channel name is American Accent Training with Jess. Oh, this was a really um, poor choice of markers because it's stained. But I'm going to write this so you guys can see it. I should have a sign that I hold up. American Accent Training with Jess. So I have like a normal channel with longer videos, which is the one that I'm doing a live on. And then I do have a shorts channel, but that's just to put like my TikTok style videos. So, American Accent Training with Jess, that is my YouTube channel for those asking. I'm trying out this new mic stand, so I'm not used to it yet. So, why are you exaggerating? So when you are learning how to speak more like a native speaker, um, something that a lot of English learners do incorrectly is they won't properly like put the stress where it should be in a sentence and stuff. So if you are oh sorry, it's so distracting when people try to get on my live. So when you exaggerate it, you're able to get a feel for what the language should actually look like and feel like. So that when you exaggerate it, it's easier to tone it down later. I even mention this for a lot of vowel sounds. I don't know if it's because English learners can be insecure, but sometimes they won't really um, pronounce the vowels. It will be really short. Like it's just kind of like, I don't know if they're worried about saying it incorrectly, but one of the ways to sound more American as well can be sometimes like my instructor would say this, and I know some people don't necessarily call it this. Thanks for the sticker. But to make the vowels sound more wavy. So instead of saying like, "Hi, how are you?" "Hi, hi, how are you? How are you?" Right? Like just letting those vowels really shine. Okay. I don't see any more. Andre Rodrigo said, "How do I improve my English conversation? Practice, 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 practice with friends, practice with English learners, and practice with English speakers." I also have an app. Well, I don't have an app. I use an app, and I always link it in my video because I have a little referral link. There's this AI app where you have AI chatbots, chat partners, so you can, like, chat with them, and if you turn on the feedback function, whenever you make a mistake in English, it will correct you, which is so important because people can make mistakes in English, it's normal. But if you keep on making it and you never get feedback and you never get it corrected, that will become your English, right? So practice, whether it be with a person or whatnot. All right, I see questions and stuff going on YouTube, so I'll check that out. Francisco, or is it Francisco? Oh, no, it's Mexico. Francisco Medina says, "What part of the world are you broadcasting from?" I am broadcasting from Canada. And you're from Mexico. Hola. Hola de Canada. And hola Mexico. And hi, I see you. And hello. Thank you for the hellos. All right. Someone said how to speak like a native. Um, should I get my whiteboard out? I will. I'll get my whiteboard out. How to speak like a native. Um, I would say, like, if you're trying to fix, like, fix. I'm gonna say fix because it's not bad to have an accent. But I am an accent coach, so I do help people with that. Um, if you want to sound more like a native, and I had to sum it up. Um, English mistakes. So I'm just gonna write this down because I know I am a visual learner, and I think a lot of people are. Sorry if you guys can hear outdoors. It's hot in the apartment, so open the windows. Okay. I'm gonna say top two. Top two. How to speak more like a native. One would be fix incorrect pronunciation. So it's not bad to have an accent, okay? But if you want to have more of a native like accent, you'd want to compare your accent, your pronunciation versus the pronunciation and accent that you want and fix that. So I have a whole book, like a five tip guide. So if you are on YouTube, um, or Facebook, if you write top tips in the comments of the replay, I can send you the link to get my free guide to help you um, learn how to do this, and then fix English mistakes. So there are how do I say this? Native speakers make grammar mistakes. It's normal. But there is a difference between grammar mistakes that English speakers make, right? Natives. And there's a difference between the English mistakes that learners make, where when you say them, like native speakers will be like, huh? Is English your first language? They'll know that something probably isn't, you know, something isn't quite right. Maybe English isn't your first language. So to learn what those mistakes are and then fix them. So to get feedback when you make those mistakes. So when I have conversation and feedback sessions with clients, I always listen for big mistakes, things that are a part of their English that makes it obvious that English is not their first language. Good morning. Ooh, Michal or Michael. I need to talk to you to see how I'm actually supposed to be pronouncing your name. I think it's Michael. From 1 to 10, how important is shadowing? Hmm. Hmm. This is just my opinion. I mean, I think it's really important, but I don't always do it in my second language and third language. Um, I would say if you just want to speak fluently and, maybe have a, good pronunciation, you know, you're understandable. I think you can get away with not shadowing, but once you really want to master your pronunciation, master and improve the accent that you're trying to have. So if it's an American accent, a Canadian accent, I think shadowing. Hmm. I want to say that shadowing's probably like 8 out of 10. But if you really wanna, master and, really get that accent down, probably 10 out of 10. Because I think how else can you really learn how to speak like a native speaker if you never repeat after them? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. It's a good question. So how would you say is an easy way to practice your accent if you're not good at meeting people? Um, hmm. I have a whole playlist. Um, I know you're asking this on TikTok, but I'm gonna add something on YouTube. So I have a bunch of playlists on YouTube, a lot. I have common English mistakes. You can test your own English. Do you make those mistakes? Did you know they were mistakes? I have English learning tips, as you can see here on the screen. The English learning tips, check it out. That's how you're going to improve your English. And if you want to also check out, it's coming up soon. I have a pronunciation. So I'm trying to follow this on my screen. I have a pronunciation help playlist as well. How like to help you improve your pronunciation. I also have a speak like an American or Canadian pronunciation playlist. So go to my YouTube. I just erased what my YouTube channel was, but American accent training with Jess and click on my channel and then go to playlist. You'll see so many playlists, but I talk about how you can improve your accent. We can practice together. We can practice connected speech. I have a lot of resources. A lot of resources. You're welcome, Michael. Mihal. Mihal. Is it okay? I feel like I ask this every live and I don't see the answer or I forget. Mihal or Mihal? Like, do you pronounce the L? And hi, Ali Hussein, Alejandro. Mm. How are you going to ask you? I'm not sure if I understand the question. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Now I think this could be a really good time to. Um, I talked about shadowing and exaggerating to get the feel for, the rhythm of English. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen on YouTube and Facebook. And, we're gonna do a little bit of ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT. Tell me, do you guys use ChatGPT? I love ChatGPT. Alright, so I'm going to share screen. I'm hoping it doesn't kick me off the screen, but we'll see. Okay, cool. Except the background is kind of not great. We can do no background. There we go. Okay. If you guys have anything you want me to practice, like, I don't know, conversational English or something, suggest it. Ooh, hi from Thailand and hola, Francisco. I love seeing where everyone's from. It's so cool. It's so cool. Okay, let's say you're meeting somebody. Yeah, that could be really great. Let's say you're meeting somebody. Um, yes. All right. Um, so I'll say to ChatGPT, give me, um, let's say 10, and we'll choose 10 um conversational sentences. One, yeah, should be give me one might. Oh, before my computer dies and I lose you guys, let's plug you in. There we go. One might say when talking to a coworker, okay? Coworker or friend, whatever. There we go. So I'm going to write these out and then we're going to go through them together. Oh, this is cute. This is really cute. These are really cute conversational phrases. And if you guys don't know, North America North American culture is really into small talk. So if you're from like, um, you know, trying to think like Eastern European, an Eastern European country, you might be not used to that. All right. Now, please um, put the stressed words and syllables in capital letters, capitals. Okay, so this is going to help you see where things are stressed, okay? Mm, which one should we do? Mm-mm-mm. Okay, this is cute. This is cute. So I'm going to do that. All right, we're going to go to. Okay, good. I'm going to make this smaller. And I also want to get rid of that. Okay, we're just going to have to accept that that's going to be there. Do that size. I want it to be really small. Do you guys see what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to make this smaller and it won't go smaller. Oh, whatever. Okay, let's go here. Um, okay, let's go number 5. Number 5. So we're going to exaggerate. Like I said, we exaggerate the stress sometimes to get a feel for English. It's a really good way. So I finally watched that show. So feel free to repeat after me. I finally watched that show you recommended. Did you feel that stress? I finally watched that show you recommended. I finally watched that show you recommended. Recommended. Do you feel that? Recommended. Recommended. So let's say your coworker says you should really watch this show, like it's really good. I recommend it. And you watch it over the weekend. And then you say, finally, I finally watched that show you recommended. Recommended. Okay, now I'm going to say it normally. But we do say it. Like if it took a while, you'd be like, I finally, right? That's normal. So I finally watched that show. I finally watched that show. I finally watched that show you recommended. I finally watched that show you recommended. Finally watched that show you recommended. I finally watched that show you recommended. Okay, you notice how I'm saying it differently because I want you guys to be able to hear it differently. So good. So good. You could even like say so good, like if it was really good. So good. Next. Are you working on that project too? Repeat after me. Are you working? Are you working? Are you working on that project too? Yeah, that's exaggerated. I think I'm going to start saying it naturally now. Are you working on that project too? Project two? Do you feel that like project two? Are you working on that project too? You might even hear native speakers sometimes just get rid of that. Say, you working on that project too? You working on that project too? It's really casual, but we do drop that sometimes. So instead of saying, are you happy? You might say, you happy? You might drop the R. You working on that project too? Or is it just my team? I'm going to exaggerate again. You working on that project too? Or is it just my team? Or is it just my team? Just my team. And you notice how I say, or is it? Or is it? Like I put it together, it's really fast. Or is it just my team? My team, right? We just kind of rush on a lot of the in between sounds, not overly, but in contrast to the words here or the syllables here that here, sorry, I said heel, here that are stressed, right? So it's not, no, I'm not going to say what it's not. I'm just going to say what it is. So you working on that project too? Notice how it's like working on that project. It's like on that project too. You working on that project too? You working on that project too? Or is it just my team? Or is it just my team? You working on that project too? Or is it just my team? Or maybe I'm a little bit suspicious and like, is it just us? You working on that project too? Or is it just my team? Okay. Number 7, right here. Let's say your coworker or friend shows you a meme. Okay. Spanish speakers, it's not memes, it's memes. Okay, so memes, when it's a picture with a funny sentence. So I needed that laugh. Okay, this it's a F sound. My marker is disappearing, but can you see the F? F. Okay, I needed that laugh, and this is an ID. So ID, ID, needed, needed. I needed that laugh. Exaggerated again. I needed that laugh. I needed that laugh. Sometimes I don't even pronounce that. I needed that laugh. Usually, I feel like I pronounce this more as like a glottal stop. I needed that laugh. Thanks for making, thanks for making my day. So this here, depending on where it is, we might pronounce it as four, like the number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But usually when it's in the middle of a sentence, we will pronounce it as, okay, I'm going to try to write this all as like one word just so that doesn't erase. F-E-R, fur. Okay, rhymes with her, like his and her. Fur rhymes with her. Okay, that's how we just talked about how to have more of, the American rhythm. A part of the American rhythm is having like, having reduced syllables, where we have unstressed syllables, right? So we have stress like thanks for, right? So it's not thanks for making my day, right? We don't say that. We say thanks for making my day. Thanks for making my day, right? So there's different stress, right? There's different, time that we spend on each syllable. So thanks for making my day. And no, I'm not from England. I'm from Canada. Thanks for making my day. Okay, that's exaggerated just so you can feel the speed where it's like, thanks for making my day. Thanks for making my day. Pretty natural. Let's do it naturally. I needed that laugh. Thanks for making my day. I needed that laugh. Thanks for making my day. I needed that laugh. Thanks for making my day. You're a really good friend. Okay. Um, Okay, let's do this one. I don't know why. I don't know why. But whenever, I think it's when I'm if yeah, it just starts, like, disappearing. Man, drives me crazy. You guys can see that, hey? Why is it it must be here. So I'm gonna try to see if I can, I'm gonna try to see if I can, try to make it so that I don't lose the ink on my screen because that's really gonna help me share something with you guys that I think is really important. It's probably here. Auto fade, there we go. Get it out of here. Okay, all right. So, I'm gonna share this in my connected speech, um, secrets course, but I'll give you a little preview. Jamal says, is the Canadian accent like England or the US? Like the US. Yeah. Okay, so when there is, oops, when there is a consonant sound at the end of one sentence and the same one in the next word, sorry, I said sentence. When there's a consonant sound at the end of one word and at the beginning of the next word, it's the same. We just kind of pronounce it. We keep it like how was, right? It's like, it sounds like one word. How was your, remember? Oh, this is driving me crazy. How big this, oh, I want it to be smaller. I did it last time. Whatever. I'm just gonna let this get. How was, remember how was, what's starting again? Your, remember reduced, it's not your, not like for, it's your. How was your weekend? Hey, how was your weekend? Weekend. Hey, how was your weekend? How was your, how was your, right? Do you notice how the how glides in with was because you have the consonant? How was, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? Or someone says, how was your trip? That's a good one. Hey, how was your weekend? Hey, how was your weekend? More casual, you know? Hey, how was your weekend? Was it good? Um, something people ask all the time. I always find it hard to like talk about my weekends. Um, this is something I'm gonna actually bring out. I'm gonna bring out, get rid of the auto fade because did you, did you? Well, someone said they had a fantastic weekend. That's amazing. Did you? It can turn into did you. Okay. It turn into did you. Oops. Trying to fit the T. Did you? Right. So did you might sound like did you. It also might sound like did ya. Did ya? Did you do anything fun? Did ya? You guys see that? It could be did you? Did ya? You might even hear when it's really fast, you might just hear Jew. Did you have a good weekend? It's kind of like the did ya or did you just turns into Jew. Did you have a good weekend? So we're going to try it with the did you first. So did you? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything fun? I was expecting that to disappear. Did you do anything fun? Okay. Now we can do ja, ja. Did ya? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything fun? or let's do Jew. Do you have any oh, sorry. I looked up and I was distracted for a second. Did you do anything fun? All right. You might be confused when you say, "Did you do anything fun?" What? But what they're actually saying is, "Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything fun? Did you do anything fun?" Okay. So that's a good way to, guess, have more of an idea of what, how native speakers speak with an American accent and also like how to speak more with the rhythm of American English as well in casual speech. So I'm going to see if there's any questions on. No, no. Somebody said they cannot hear me. I hope you guys can now. There's 3 people here on YouTube and 39 on TikTok. But hello, hello, hi from Morocco. Cool. Hello, Morocco. Francisco, can you hear me now? I hope so because that the practice part might have been it might not have worked. All right. Um, Mihal says, what would you say, or would you say it's better for shadowing? Or what would you say is better for, sorry. What would you say is better for shadowing, movies or interviews? By interviews, do you mean like work interviews, like to get a job, like job interviews, or do you mean like interviews and documentaries? I would say it depends. I think it's good to see both, right? When I shadow, I I have shadowed a little bit. When I have shadowed, I've listened to the radio because I find like people who on the radio are like fun and like casual, and I really wanted to be able to speak more naturally, more casually, to be able to feel fun, to be fun in my second language. So I would listen to radio announcers that are, like, fun. Um, but if I was wanting to sound more professional at work, I don't work in French anymore, but if I wanted to, then I would shadow more serious people or more serious and professional, um, like, shows or documentaries, because if I start speaking like somebody on the radio and I have to be, like, really serious at work and there's casual speech, it might not go very well. So I think it's good to shadow different things. So if you want to shadow, like, interviews, see what it's like casual stuff, you know? Or and then also be able to shadow movies, like especially movies where people are more casual with friends. Like, what does that sound like? How are things changed? I think it's good to do a little bit of shadowing of everything, and depending on your goal. Um, okay, so I see Ackley says to get a job. So I would say, shadowing like job interviews could be good. Would you recommend a radio station, please? Um, I don't have one that I recommend. I just turn on the radio in my car. But and I don't really listen to English, so I would not be helpful for giving recommendations because English is not really a language that I'm trying to learn because it's my first language. So I'm sorry, Mihal, I don't have recommendations for radio station. Good. All right. And I see that someone sent me a private message. If it's just like a hi or if it seems like kind of just flirting or whatever, I don't answer or respond. But if it's like you have real questions, like you want to work with me or you have questions about that, let me know. So it's Gomez. Gomez. I'm in Canada. Which accent do you recommend I learn? Um, I would I want to sorry. I'm not laughing at your question. I'm laughing because I can't like I wanna say a Canadian accent, but then I am Canadian, and I market myself as an American accent coach. So, honestly, if you could learn my accent, but I would say if you want to learn an accent, um, like the people around you, like a Canadian accent, if you listen to a lot of American shows, um, then you will be able to hear that general American accent. And in my opinion, sorry, my phone's dying, so I might not be able to say my full answer, but it will be on my YouTube. Um, if you watch videos with a general American accent, that's pretty much what you hear in Canada. So that's a good question. And I'm assuming that you're probably in like, British Columbia, the prairies or Ontario or something, not anywhere that has a specific accent. Because I know in the eastern part, sometimes they'll have an accent. So my phone is like gonna die in like a few seconds. So if you don't see me anymore, that's why TikTok. But feel free to answer which province you're in. If I see it, I'll answer. Because I have like 43 people that I'm gonna lose. All right. Oh, I can. Okay, good. Good, good, good. I love it. I love that you can hear me. Hello from Argentina. Hola, Argentina. Hola, mi gente. Hay mucha gente que habla español aquí. That's amazing. Que hablan, sorry. My Spanish is like not the best. So I don't have any questions on YouTube. I'll give you another 30 seconds to ask a question on Facebook or YouTube. So if you have a question, let me know and I will do my best to answer it. Someone said I speak Spanish. Good. Thank you. Gracias. Um, but I don't think there are any other questions. So I'm going to leave you guys with a little tip, a little parting words. If you want to improve your English, um, check out my YouTube channel, American Accent Training with Jess. Most of you guys are already there, but you'll see I have different kind of playlists. You can see some of the ones passing by. I have playlists for you to get English learning tips, accent reduction tips, common English mistakes. This is something that if you are learning English, you might not even know that you're making these mistakes. So check that out. Test your knowledge. I have pronunciation help, pronunciation tips, connected speech practice where you repeat after me in a sentence just to get a feel for what it feels like to you know, speak like, speak like a native speaker. Yes, I can speak Spanish too. Yes, I had a feeling if you're from Argentina and from Peru. Nice. All like mi gente latino son aquí, están aquí. I love it. But I'm going to end this live. If you are watching the replay on YouTube, there should be a video or something popping up here once the video is processed. So take care. Check out the description. There are forms in the description you might like, and you can submit your future questions if you have any questions for a future stream. So take care and bye bye. Thanks for coming, guys.